Hey, what's up, people? We're coming back at you. The Black Quarterback Forum and the Black QBs in Effect.com website. So I will make sure I mention that. So we chopped the videos up to make them a little shorter, hopefully a little bit more entertaining. Catch which part of it that you like the most. But in this little segment here, we're going to talk about the black quarterbacks, and if they won or lost, of course, and their stats and their progress, whether they're going up or down. So, because I had mentioned to my man Smith that I didn't want to spend much time on the losers, but he was like, man, we still, talk about their progress. So I guess, good or bad. So, but anyway.
Yeah. Thing about it is we keep track. You want any quarterback. What if, you know what I'm saying, Jalen or Desmond Ritter fall off and they end up 5-12? We're not going to talk about it no more?
Oh, no, we're going to talk about it.
Somebody like him. Somebody riding for him. You got a mom, parents out there. Somebody like them some Desmond Ritter.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'll have a new quarterback next year, me personally, but somebody likes some Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
And some people, like Deshaun Watson. Like
me. I like Deshaun.
Yeah, some people do. So we still got to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it. Just not as much.
But I've never seen somebody give their job away.
Like, you mean Deshaun?
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Give it away.
Yeah, he wants it. You just do it for these couple of weeks. Okay. Some of the tougher weeks.
That's what it's been.
I'll be back. I'll be back when it ease up a little bit. But you go on, young boy.
Yeah.
Take them lumps. All right. So in the NFC, I'll go through some of the losers first. Bryce Young. Not even gonna go over his stats. They're a bunch of empty calories though. Although I think he threw for like 3, maybe 8 touchdowns. I'm just kidding. I think it was 3. But they were meaningless. They were getting blown out from start to finish in that game. It wasn't even a contest. It didn't look like. I don't think they're ever gonna say it, but he's too small. If you watch the games and he's out there standing next to 6'2", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" people, it's like whose little brother is that? I mean, that's what it looks like.
He's been allowed on the field.
Right, and I'm like, they ain't never gonna say he's too small. Maybe he becomes successful. I don't know. He looks suspect to me every time I'm watching. He can't throw the ball down the field. He can only throw it to Thielen, out like that.
Quick out route. Pick up 5, 7, 8.
So I don't know. We'll see. And then there was Dak and Jordan Love. They was in the special category of 3 INTs each. Just giving the ball to the other team. Here you go. We like you that much, and we want you to have extra possessions to beat our ass. Just extra ones. So you're never going to win going 3 interceptions.
No.
Because I broke down about the possessions. They are priceless in the NFL. And you play these efficient teams, you got to score when you have the ball. You have to. So that's what those guys did, and that wasn't good. No need to go into detail. But on their statistics. So with some of the winners, Justin Fields, it's been almost like forever ago now in football world, right? That he won this game Thursday night because tomorrow is Thursday again, and we're starting week 6.
Yeah.
But he did win, people. One of his better, I think it was his best game ever, probably. Well, he threw for 300 plus yards the week before they lost.
Yeah.
But this week. And the focus in that Thursday night game when they came out was like intense. You can see the Bears didn't want to lose, right? Yeah, they was that step ahead of the Commanders.
Yeah.
But they scored on their first 5 possessions. It was one I write down. It was like field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, which was impressive. That's what I'm talking about, efficient. Yeah. So they were highly efficient. I mean, he had 282 yards. On 15 for 29 passing, 9.7 average, 4 touchdowns and no INTs. He was sacked 3 times for minus 9 yards. QBR was 77.5 and the rating was 125.3. But that was his best game. So,
in regards to that, you can read into it what you want, but there was a couple things said in that. Was that really Justin Fields' best game? Or is that DJ Moore's coming out part?
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned DJ Moore because him and DJ Moore,
85% of that was DJ Moore.
It was, and and DJ Moore have been connected.
Yeah,
they worked on that a lot. You're right. It is.
So it's like you can read into it. To me, Justin Fields, you know what you're gonna get. You're not getting that next week.
Right. I'm just I'm not
what you're gonna get. But no, I get what you're saying. But it's perspective and perception. as we give the updates and whatnot. And to me, I feel like that is taken away a little bit from Fields and his play, because Fields still throwing the ball. He the one, he got to get it there. How many times we see overthrows and misthrows?
Right.
Like on those plays, he got it there.
They was efficient on that day. Okay. That's what I talk about a lot. Being efficient. Can't get no more than that. Scoring every possession in the first half.
Yeah.
And then it continued in the second half. So with more scores. But moving on to Desmond Ridder, he did have they didn't have the most efficient game. They offense, but they won. But here's just an example. In the first half, they had 7 possessions. They only scored on their second possession a touchdown. The other possessions were punts. So that's not efficient. But they were able to win that game against Houston because Houston wasn't that efficient offensively either. So, but Desmond Ridder was 28 for 37, 329 yards, 8.9 average. Only had 1 touchdown, no INTs. And he was surprised, no sacks. I thought that was kind of impressive, no sacks. So, his rating was 112 or 111.2 and a QBR of 81.4. So, but they did win the game. It was a very close game from what I remember the score. But C.J. Stroud and them just didn't do much either.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Hurts, of course, they did win. They went out there in L.A., and I thought they might get caught up in all the hype, but they didn't. Jalen was 25 for 38, 303 yards, 8.8 average. He had 1 touchdown, 1 INT, and he did have 15 rushes for 72 yards, full pinning average, and 1 touchdown. And they scored on several of their first half possessions, touchdown, punt, field goal, touchdown. So in that game, when they punted, the Rams punted, so they kept that score close to the second half. He had a rating of 87.9 and a QBR of 82.5. And then finally, I touch on it last because y'all know I do love my man Lamar, but they just got to be consistent. My man Tyrone here, he's going to talk about a lot more with the Ravens, but to me, the offense got to be consistent. And I talk about consistency a lot. You just got to be consistent. Whether it's drop passes or whatever the case, bad coaching, you just got to be consistent.
And and
then they'll be looked at as one of the top teams.
You're correct. They are one of the top teams. In a sense, you don't win the Super Bowl in week 5, 6, 7, 9, 12, 11. Super Bowl ain't won there.
No.
And the losses the Ravens had, I feel like are learning losses. It's not that the better team won, and it's a true example of we beat ourselves. Like, as we talked about earlier with the analytics, all this, that, and the other, like, please somebody comment. 12 seconds left in the game, 4th and 2. Do you not kick the 45-yard field goal?
Right?
Or in the half, in the first half. Right. Do you not kick the field goal to go up 13-3? Like, what? Somebody please tell me what is the point of running a 5, 7, 10, 12-yard play from the 37-yard line, 31-yard line, that will get you the first down with 12 seconds left? What's the advantage of that?
There is
not to give the Steelers the ball with no offense that they've shown at all. They didn't get 100 yards till 5 minutes left in the third quarter. You think they now going to go down the field in 8 seconds or whatever time left in that field goal? It makes no sense. Like,
so,
and then,
but what other quarterbacks do? We talked about the Ravens and efficiencies for that game. It's a division game. It'll be okay. I know
they points at a minimum.
They're playing for the Super Bowl. I get it. They're playing for the Super Bowl. Dropping touchdown passes.
I love Bateman.
We all know you cannot win dropping touchdown passes.
This is my question. I want 2 comments. This is my second question. Why, when Pat Mahomes had 5 drops, his receivers, that's why he lost. Lamar have 7 to 9 to 10. I think they still, it's like the ballots in Florida. They still counting it right now, how many drops happened that day. Still counting it right now. Why ain't it the drops and why is it Lamar? What, like,
for me,
how does Lamar catch any flack on that? How does Lamar catch any flack on that?
National media saying Lamar?
Yeah, like, how, anybody. Like, how?
I'm not saying it's Lamar.
Because Pat Mahomes didn't get that same, oh man, Pat Mahomes.
Right.
Like, I just don't get it. But again, you want the clickbait, you want the video, you want the ad, you want the talking heads, whatever to get somebody to watch nonsense you say.
Right. So,
but here we standing by the videos, we standing by our statements, and it's still Saints Ravens Super Bowl. Saints Ravens Super Bowl. You know what I mean? We standing by it. You can go back and watch it, and we held to it. But it wasn't Lamar in that game, and it wasn't the defense.
And okay, so what are the other black quarterbacks do though? We've established that, but that'll be okay. You got the AFC.
In the AFC, I go on rants with the like it just
I know that's what I'm trying to. It's okay.
I get it.
It's okay.
But with the AFC, we had Tua. At Miami, they are a good team. But the thing about Miami, something just tells me they kind of like the Lions. It's just not real. It's just not like I can't really get 100% behind it because a good team doesn't go and get blown out. Even if you lose close, and there's points in the game where you can say, hey, this or that. Like, you just don't go and get blown out. So it's like, you know what I mean? I just don't have the same Super Bowl with Miami on that bandwagon. They are a good team, though. And if you're sleeping, they could run away from you on a bright and sunny day down there in Miami, on Miami Beach. You get there early and get lost off. Like a lot of factors come into play.
It could happen.
But in the snow and rain and cold weather, them getting put out could happen
could
too.
Have some problems. They could have some problems.
But Tua is 22 for 30, 308 yards, almost an average. Tua going to get 300 yards a game, 10 yards per catch. A lot of that was Tyreek Hill with long catches, long touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 sack for 6 yards, QBR 60.4 with a rating of 100. You know what I mean? Again, the main thing with them is certain possessions, you know what I mean, that we talk about. And the 4 key possessions: first possession touchdown, last possession before the half field goal, first possession outside of the half touchdown, in the game with them taking a knee. That's kind of, obviously, you know who's going to win that game. With that type of production, in between doesn't matter because that game was a lot closer and a lot happening. You know what I mean? And Tua throws a pick on a, I want to say, 2-yard line goal. They threw a whole touchdown to go all the way back for a TD.
Yeah, the Giants are horrible. It meant nothing.
You know what I'm saying? But it was close.
That was a horrible.
But
game. I mean, the Giants are horrible. Disgustingly horrible.
So they should have had a better performance. This is what I'm talking about. Just the Dolphins in general.
Yeah, they beat them.
The game was closer than it should have been.
Yeah, it was. But who else?
Closer than it should have been. And they wasn't at home.
Right.
That's the key. Remember, they're not at home. That number 1 seed for the Dolphins is going to be very important.
Yeah. It will be.
Next up, we got Kansas City and Mahomes. Mahomes is doing typical Mahomes things. He's just a winner. Like, the thing about it, he's a winner. The thing that scares me, and like Al Boogie said, like he said, you play your schedule. You play your schedule. They really haven't beaten anybody. They really haven't had true tests.
And people talk about how they play down to their level.
I don't. At this point, I don't think it's a down to the level.
What do they do?
I don't think they can excel up to what we expect.
Okay.
For this season, like if they played the Dolphins,
Super Bowl.
If they played the Dolphins and the Dolphins got to 35-40, the Chiefs couldn't get there.
You don't think they could get there?
They couldn't get there.
Okay.
Like Pat Mahomes is a good. You know what I'm saying? 275, like he's struggling to even get 300 yards.
You don't think he go for 30 points?
They ain't really getting 30 points.
But that's 7 points a quarter.
But they ain't getting that.
But what do they average?
They're not getting in that game right there. In that game, I don't know the exact average as a team, but
you know what? I did indicate that they.
But I know it was 20-7. But and the Minnesota had a chance to come back and tie it up.
No, they're averaging close to 30. They are, because on the website I talked about the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
But then like the Niners, Eagles, and there's another team, and the Dolphins are all scoring 30+ points.
Yeah.
But the Lions, Chiefs, and the Bills I think are right below. So they close
24-25.
Right, they're close to 30.
Again, when you playing that team to play 30 and they push 35, you hovering around 25, 23, 24, 26. But
we'll see.
Where Kansas City wins, efficiency as we talked about, the most important possessions, the most important possessions. First, the four important. First possession in the first quarter, last possession of the half, first possession after half, and the last possession of the game. Be it offense, whether you got it scored or need to go down and score. But those are the four most important. Out of those four, they got a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown. So opening the game, touchdown, before the half, field goal, and coming out of half, touchdown. And they won that game by 7 points.
Hey,
so
at the end of the day,
efficient right there.
Field with the dub. What we got?
Next up, we got C.J. Stroud. With C.J. Stroud, 20, 35, 249, 7.1. I mean, to me, they just weren't able to move the ball. 58 total plays on offense, not going to get it done. Not enough opportunities. Sometimes it's a matter of opportunities you have. Just not enough opportunities with only 58 plays in the game. But basic game, nothing really established. 249, one touchdown, no picks. Obviously, you stand stagnant. You banking on the defense. Defense gave it up late. We got Anthony Richardson. Only really played a half. The one key note is, two key notes. He was hurt running the ball on a design run as a quarterback. And second, when he did get hurt, they were up 10-6. But his numbers were trending upwards. 9 for 12, 98 yards, 8.2 passing. 2 rushes, 5 yards. Unfortunately, that last rush costing him 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, he's going to be out for a while. So
out for a while.
For the most part, C.J. Stroud probably gets Rookie of the Year for the black quarterbacks. We're speaking black quarterbacks only here. Because Bryce Young is too small. But anyway.
And then we got Russ. Russ just is a unique character. And the empty calories are starting to fade. So now as the empty calories fade, the conversation starts more of any quarterback can do that. Is it time to bench him? Is it done? Is it over? But his real money starts next year. Not even these last 2 years he played like trash. The real money starts next year.
And he'll be better next
year. The real
one,
yeah. Just like Watson gonna be better next year.
Keep hope alive.
Keep it going. Keep it going. But Russ, just 2 fumbles, lost one. The one fumble he lost was so crucial because it was a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. When the score, they were down 24-21. Late in the fourth quarter, 29 seconds left. Denver trying to drive. All you need is a field goal for overtime. You at the Denver 41. So realistically, we're talking about 20 yards. 20 yards or so, you can pretty much get in field goal range, tie it up, play for overtime. Russ, sack, fumble, touchdown, game over. But they did come out hot in the first half. Denver's a good first half team. Good first half team. When they can script and play and Russ know, okay, we're doing this. But once you get to play 16 and play 15 ran out, it's over with. The offense sputters, nothing. Then we got Dobbs, who I feel like, again, is not a quality starter in the NFL. But he kind of came back down to real life. 15 for 32, 166, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 9.4 QBR, worst QBR today, with a 57% rating. And just really couldn't get the field going. And as we mentioned earlier in the earlier video, in regards to the timing and going for it on that fourth down, did you really think the Cardinals offense is going to be able to keep it going and going and going and get a touchdown?
I just thought at that point in the game.
Yeah, I agree with
me. At that point in the game, I hear the analytics, if it's this score and you're this close, you do this and that. But what happened is just taking the 3 points, settling your team down, kicking the ball, making Cincinnati go 75 yards, taking on 25. And play
as a defensive coach, put your defense out there. As a defensive coach, put your defense out there.
So
and get the stop.
And a lot of times they go for it on fourth down. They go for it in these situations. And these coaches, they run around. They look like they like mad geniuses with their charts and this and that.
Sometimes it's just simple.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Outthink yourself. Exactly. Outthink yourself.
Just take the points and be done with it. But anyway, anything else?
That's the recap. Week 5 in the books.
Yeah,
tune in next week for week 6. Let us know what you think about the splits and the change up we did this week. So let us know. We enjoy the feedback. We appreciate the feedback. Let us know your thoughts so we can chime in.
Yeah, and keep hope alive. Like I said, if your team is losing, they might be winning one week.
And as my daddy told me, always trust your eyes. They won't lie to you.
All right. Take care.
All right.